What's up, everybody? Welcome to the live composing show. My name is Stephen Melin. Hope you're doing fantastic today. Before we get started, there is so much fun that we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be doing some Kirby, which is already one of my love languages, and we're going to be doing a brand new sample instrument library review, and that is the Ancient Era Persia by Best Service. Super pumped to talk about both of those. But before I can even talk about either of those, I have to introduce somebody to you. So Matt, come on over here. Boom. We're going to open up the camera this way. Hey, say hi. Where are you?
Hello, everyone.
They can, here. You can talk right there.
Hi, everyone. How are you doing today?
Yeah, so that is Matt. That's Matt Everett. He is here in the Atlanta area with me. He's now officially my executive assistant. He's in-house, and so he's actually in the studio with me each day. And so moving forward from this point, Matt, you can go ahead and go to your post. Right. Thank you. I get to boss somebody around now. It's awesome. But yeah, so we actually have a separate room in the studio that he's going to be plugged into the live chat. And so I'm super pumped about that because that is a huge bonus to what we get to do here today is to have a little bit more organization, a little bit more moderation, because I know that you guys are so lively and so chatty. It's lovely. But you guys have seen me do this for a couple years now where I'm really locked in. I'm writing music and I'm over here changing screens and whatever and, doing my thing. Sometimes it's really, really hard to stay involved with the chat and with all the questions you guys are asking. And you guys ask some amazing questions. And I'm always really bummed out when I can't answer them or I can't get to them. And you should know that if you are ever in that position where you feel like, oh man, Stephen didn't get to my question or he didn't answer the thing I wanted to know, and when the video replays, right, when YouTube re-uploads the video after our live stream, just leave a comment. I always look at the comments and I reply to as many as I can, especially if it's a question related to a resource or something that I know that I can definitely help you with. And Matt is also going to be helping me with that in a big way with helping to respond to things and make sure that everyone, basically no one falls through the cracks. So whether that's in our Discord group, the VGM Alliance, which is a free group, by the way, you can go check it out today, stephenmelin.com/Discord. Go hop in there. It's a group of video game composers who are all trying to make a living doing this, and it's super fun. Or any other question, right? We don't want anyone to feel left behind or in the cracks. So that's a big thing on my heart is to make sure that you guys are well taken care of and nurtured. And I always give as much time and energy as I can, but everyone has limitations, right? Especially in our time frame here together. So today I'm really pumped. Let me say hi to a few people here. We have Corey, Casper, Eunice, Eric, Arfo, Chu, I Hate Magoo, Taro, of course, Matt, Everett, and a bunch of others that are popping in here. I love what we get to do here together. Can I just say that at the front? This is a lot of fun, getting to write music for commercial projects, to work on game music packs together, to rescore famous games. That's always so much fun. And the other benefit is on the other side, more on the business side, I get to share really cool sample libraries with you guys. I get to give my candid, honest reviews of things and show you new tech. And it's kind of a win-win for everybody. So a couple disclaimers for today. Today we're going to be talking about Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is a game I haven't played yet. I did play the demo on my Switch. A ton of fun. And I'm super excited to play the real game. But I give that disclaimer today because I've made a point not to play the game so that I could do this today. So what does that mean? Well, today we're going to be rescoring, which is one of my favorite things to do in music, is to take a piece of footage, the environment. So today we're going to be looking at the desert environment. Come on, mouse. There we go. It stalled on me for a second. So I grabbed a 2-minute gameplay clip from a caster, and this game looks absolutely incredible. I can't wait to jump into it. And the purpose of this is I wanted to, number one, play some Kirby. I mean, come on. There's an excuse to write Kirby music. But really, I want to give my own take. I want to act as if the game developer handed me this scene today, and they said, hey, Steven, write to the footage, right? Here's our gameplay demo. Play this and write to it. Because a lot of times that is exactly what happens in the game music space is the developers will give you an early build of the game and they might give you a couple music references, but in most cases they literally just hand it to you and say, Okay, what do you think? Let's write some music. And so I think it's appropriate to write a 2-minute piece of music today. You should know that when I write music like this, on the back end, after the stream, once I have mixed and exported the piece of music and kind of tailored it up a little bit, my goal at that point is to turn these into more video game music packs to put on places like the Unity Asset Store, on the Unreal Marketplace. And for those who are looking to make an income with video game music, that is a very hot spot right now. And I'm not sure how much longer it's going to last, if that's going to be a couple more years or what, but this is your chance. If you're interested in really making some serious game music income right now, that's the place to go. And if you haven't seen on the screen yet, boom, right there, bam, right there, stevemelin.com/10 steps. That is a free guide for you guys. It's a $17 guide that you can get absolutely for free. My gift to you just for hanging out with us today. And it's my 10 steps to earn $63,000 plus per year with video game music. So if you're really trying to make a career out of this thing, there's some very practical steps. It doesn't mean the steps are easy, but it is very simple. It is very straightforward. And these are proven results that actually work. We have an entire community of people and the VGM Alliance that we work on these steps together, and we all are increasing our income and our music businesses. So check that out. So besides that today, obviously we're talking about a sample library as well. So today we are talking about ancient era Persia. Did I say that right? Ancient era Persia, which is as part of our series for this next month. We're actually going through, and I'm combining a famous video game of 2022, whether it's past, present, future. Obviously, Kirby has already released, so it's a past game, but it's from 2022, and we're going to rescore a scene from it using a modern sample library that we know and love from Best Service. And we're checking out these really cool libraries by Eduardo Tiralante. He's an absolute legend when it comes to sample libraries, and his instruments are always absolute top-notch quality. So they're not cheap. These are not cheap libraries. This is like the pro stuff. So this is not for everybody. But if you're someone, you find yourself in a situation with a video game and you need a desert level, you need something in like a Persian gladiator type of style with a lot of percussion, a lot of strings and woodwinds, this is going to be one of the absolute best places to look outside of hiring a live musician. That's about the only thing that could be better than this. And today I also have, this is like a loaded day, so much stuff going on. Over here, I want to open up the screen a little bit. Something I'm trying today is I want to, besides rocking, I have to show this off, besides rocking this really cool kid Band-Aid, had a little battle with an apple slicer this morning, so that was fun. So that only took 3 hours to stop bleeding. So as a composer, like, you got to protect your hands, dude. You got to protect your hands. But over here, I'm trying something new today. I actually set up a little percussion cart. This is something I used to do like 10 years ago, back when I used to play in percussion ensembles. In the orchestral percussion world, that's what you do, is you actually set up a little cart and you put all your percussion that you're going to use for the day all in one little tidy spot. And you guys have seen me in my past streams where I'm like digging through boxes of percussion instruments and like, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. So thinking ahead today, thinking of, okay, what would be a really cool Persian instrument? I don't know, maybe the dudebek. Right, something cool like that, right? Or maybe we get really fancy. This is not fancy at all, but take a shaker. Right? I mean, why the heck not? So if you guys do not have live percussion in your studio, you're missing out. It's one of the cheapest and highest investments you could ever make. It's just to have a little handful of things that you can grab that makes sense for the track you're writing. That way you're not getting lost. You're not like digging through closets and digging through boxes of things, but rather you thought ahead, okay, cool. I might only use 2 of these things, but they're here. I can grab it and start writing immediately because I literally have a microphone right here. Boom, boom, just record, right? And this is a really nice mic, the Shure SM7B, which is very good for vocals, but also for instruments, just like whipping it out and go. So anyway, all that aside, let's write some music. Let's first show off a couple things. Before we get into the creative, let's get into the technical. I first want to show off the library we're rocking today. So this is the Ancient Era Persia Holy macaroni, this stuff is inspiring. If you've not used something like this before that's highly curated, super high quality, every dang patch in this thing is like, I could write a whole track on it. It's so inspiring. That's why we invest in not large, but high quality libraries like this. Final disclaimer of the day, if this is an instrument you want to pick up for yourself, if this is really cool and inspiring for you, check out the link in the description below. That's an affiliate link. It supports my channel at no additional cost to you. And Best Service runs specials throughout the year. So even if you don't want to buy it today, add it to your cart. And that's something that, like I do in my business, I budget ahead. I don't buy anything until I've budgeted for it. And for me, I do that in the middle of the month, every month, and I look ahead for the next 30 days and I say, hey, what are all the things that are on my wish list? What's actually needed? What is practical? And then I throw that sucker in the cart and I buy it if it's a good fit. I will never teach you guys to like spontaneously buy crap you don't need, but rather if this is interesting, this is something you feel is a good fit for your business and your writing style, which a lot of you guys do fantasy, a lot of you guys do adventure, a lot of you guys do Kirby style, Nintendo style stuff. So yeah, this is going to probably be a really strong fit for you. Add it to your cart and then don't make a decision right now. Make a decision when you actually have the money, right? That's just my personal, non-biased, super biased opinion about handling your finances. But beyond that, see, you guys get dinner and a show. Isn't this is lovely? And we got my coffee today. Haven't even had coffee. Let's go. Okay, this is a fantastic point. Eunice in the chat just said this, and this is also a great disclaimer. He said, a bit of a disclaimer is that Eduardo's libraries are more niche ones. They're not all-in-one workhorse libraries, and I agree with that. And that's actually my motto with Simple Samples Audio, which is the sample library company I created. That's my mindset, is I want to make libraries that are high quality, low footprint, but very specific to a very particular need. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the big Omnispheres of the world, which have a bajillion patches that you'll never actually use, although I like Omnisphere a lot. But you get my point, is anytime, like from now on, forevermore, when I need a, what's this thing called? A dutar, which is kind of like a sitar, right? Like, look no further. This is the place. Right? That kind of thing. I know where to go. Here's what the interface looks like when you open up any patch with an ancient era Persia. All of these interfaces are quite simple, where it's basically just all of the things you'd find within Contact. This is not a Contact instrument, it's an engine instrument, but you have a reverb knob, release, expression. It's kind of cool, legato noise, just in case you don't like all the squeaky noises of the realism of the strings or whatever. Attack, pan, volume, all the things you'd expect. So I don't actually use this interface too much. I just like to sit in the browser menu. That way, when I open up that particular library, today we're using Ancient Era Persia, you get lots of cool stuff in here. We have, let me do the drop-down menus. The instruments, loops, phrases, and soundscapes. I mean, there's more here than I could ever use in one day. But just to show off a couple of these things, the main, I believe the main spot you guys will hang out in this library is percussion, strings, whoopsies, and wind, right there. And I even like that they've organized their strings into bowed strings and pluck strings. That's super useful. But check these instruments out. These are like Turkish instruments. These are things I don't have in my library outside of maybe the UVI World Suite. I probably have some of these, but still not this level of quality and intentionality. But check it out. In the percussion, we have a bendir, a daf, darbuka. By the way, this is a darbuka. I said dudebek. It's called darbuka. And it might be kind of fun. Let's try an experiment. Because, dude, my brain's going 1,000 miles a minute here. Darbuka. Oh, look, there it is. That's hilarious. I've already recorded it. Let's actually try something. This is why you guys are here, right? Just like the fun, crazy moments like this. I recorded just for fun. I picked the Darbuka patch because I literally own one. It's in my hand. Here's what it sounds like when I play on the keyboard. That's amazing. Look, I literally am holding the instrument, and here's what it sounds like, if not, right? Right? Granted, I don't have 2 microphones set up like I wish I did, but I mean, it's pretty dang spot on. And at the end of the day, which is easier? MIDI, always, mostly always. And they have all kinds of fun things in here, but that was just a fun little coincidence. The dutar is hiding in the plucked strings category. They have santur, tambor, tar, Turkish dude. So these are the instruments. If you want to sound like Nintendo, particularly Mario, if you want to sound like the Yoshi series, if you want to sound like Kirby, maybe some Pokemon, anything in the more cutesy category of Nintendo, colorful landscapes, they use this stuff everywhere. For all of history, they've been using these Turkish instruments. And then even in the wind category, you have the duk, the kaval, the Persian ney, Turkish clarinet, the Turkish mey, and the ney and the zorna. These are the instruments that you need, and it's amazing. So I can't wait to grab some of these things and write something today. So next, let's take a look at the actual footage. What are we working with here? Well, it's, oopsies. It's just a desert level. It's good old Kirby. He's just sucking up stuff, getting some powers, running through, beating up the baddies. There's one of these moments where he sucks up a dude, takes a little nap on a bench. I think it's super cool. I can't wait to play this game. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It actually worked out pretty perfectly that this is almost exactly 2 minutes long once he gets the little star and moves on to the next section of the world. So that's a great amount of time. I mean, a 2-minute track is great. That's a pretty standard hire for any video game. 1 minute is probably the most standard. 2 minutes is probably the next. 3 minutes is probably the second or the third most common. Beyond 3 minutes, it's not very common to be hired for more than 3 minutes for one piece of music. Because typically in music land, when we're hired in increments of 10 or 15. Typically soundtracks are 45 minutes, 90 minutes. They're like these beautiful, nice, clean numbers. And then it's up to the composer to decide, is this a 1.5-minute track, a 3-minute track? And then if you spill over to like 2:17, then maybe the next one can be 3:43 or whatever. Math's hard. You know what I meant. I'm a musician. I can only count to 12, okay? Calm down. So, I'm just so excited. I think we should have a lot of fun with this one today. And before moving on, because I said I would, see, this is like, you guys have already posted like 500 things in the chat, and I can't even keep up. Casper says, only Kirby game I've ever played is Kirby's Dream Land. What? On the original Nintendo Game Boy. Dude. You didn't know they still make Kirby games? Where have you been? It's like a Nintendo IP classic. That's up there with Mario and Donkey Kong for sure. And there's another one, Donkey Kong. I love Donkey Kong. That series is still strong. David Wise at the helm. Yes. He has used a lot of these Turkish instruments. I could say that for a fact. I'm even thinking back to Diddy Kong Racing. Anybody? That's one of my favorite games of all time. Diddy Kong Racing, all of the desert type levels, like Fossil Canyon, I think it was called, and some of those levels are just laden with these Turkish instruments, like the Hot Top Volcano, that kind of stuff. Like, and I've gone into those game files and I've seen the instruments used because I've built my own retro VGM database, and holy moly, that stuff is like, it's all Turkish instruments, and this is where you get that stuff from, unless you want to hire or buy these random instruments, which is probably really expensive. Anyway, so let's jump into creative hat mode. I don't want to taint what I'm about to do, but just so everyone's on the same page here, let's listen to what the actual composer did, just a few seconds, just to understand that my interpretation is very different. cool. Don't copyright strike me, YouTube. Don't do it. I don't like when people, if you play too much of the game, it'll strike me. But there you go. You get the idea that that's a pretty standard Nintendo Persian track, right? I didn't even have to look for this. Like, I literally, in preparation for this stream, I said, Kirby, desert. Just typed it in. I'm like, Kirby in the Forgotten Land. I knew that they were going to, I just knew it. It's like a Nintendo staple. There is a desert map. So if you are a video game composer, you have to know how to write for deserts. You also have to know how to write for like frozen tundras and icy caves and castles and dragons and boss battles. Like there are these tropes for a reason because they sell very, very well. There's also always a lava level. There's always a green, grassy first level stage. Like this game is like the most cliche thing in the world, but it's a tried and true formula. There's a reason it's selling so well because I haven't even played the dang game and I could tell you everything about it, right? Because it's Nintendo, right? They love to surprise us, but they also really like formulas. So with all that said, if you're going to write this kind of style, you're going to need to write in 3/4 or 6/4, probably 6/4. And I'm telling you, I created my template before I even listened to the music. I mean, right now, that was the first time I've heard the music for this clip. I didn't even listen to it. Although I can say the sound, can we all just like give a round of applause for the sound design of Kirby? Like Nintendo sound designers are some of the finest out there. Like these little swishes. Oh my gosh. Like the little footsteps. So great. Those coins are perfect. Like those, hey, if I was doing the sound design though, for real, about to send Nintendo a message. Why in the world are they using the same dang sound effect for every one of these boomerangs? That's so annoying. Like really, they couldn't come up with like 2 variations, like something different. Instead, it's just, so the boomerang's annoying to me. That's so annoying. That's bad sound design. But everything else, I love those footsteps. That's one of the greatest sounds. Boop, 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 boop. And you hear it, I'm assuming, for the entire game. Maybe it's on the desert. I don't know. But well done. Well done, guys. I'll let the boomerang slide because everything else is so cute. But moving on. Raphael says, I love writing desert music. He's actually screaming it. That's awesome. Alrighty. You guys ready? You ready to make some cool stuff? So before the stream, I just came up this little darbuka line because this is what I was trying to say earlier is that before I even listened to the track that clearly Nintendo did, their composer did, I just knew that this track needed to be in 6/4 time and something around 90 beats per minute. I did 88, so it would fit cleanly into 2 minutes. And then I knew it had to have some kind of Turkish percussion, like Persian. It's just so by the book. But hopefully, by talking about it out loud today, we can all see through the formula. And maybe I can still write something interesting on top of it. Simple little... simple little line, right? And then, just to kind of start the conversation musically, I've got the dutar, which is like the brother of the sitar. A lot of Mario games use the sitar. And I'm already hearing that the release on this thing is like insane, so I'm going to fix that a little bit. Let's find a more realistic medium. I don't mind a little bit of that overhang because that's what the real instrument sounds like. But I don't want it to be all the way up. So from a musical perspective, we have to realize that we're going to be using some variation of the Egyptian scale, or you can call it the blues scale, you can call it the harmonic minor scale, the Persian scale. There's a lot of names for it, but the scale note-wise, if we were in the key of C minor, C to C, we're doing 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, back to 1. So that would be considered a C minor scale, right? Flat 3, flat 5, flat 6. But when we make it harmonic minor, we're actually sharping the 7th scale degree. And now it has this really Eastern flair. So that's kind of 1 degree closer to the Eastern sound. But if you want to go even further, you can also sharp the 4. Now we're really talking. So what that does is it actually blends 2 scales. It takes the harmonic minor scale and it blends it with the octatonic scale. And so it's taking half of each. Which again, flat 3, sharp 4, flat 6, sharp 7. Isn't that weird? But dang, does it make a cool scale. So it creates tritones everywhere. It's actually 2 tritones. Super cool. So it's from a music theory standard. If you're interested in more of this kind of stuff, start playing with scales. Start playing with modes. And that alone can really change the direction of your music. So that's kind of the sweet spot that I want to be hanging out in. So all I did before the stream was write this cool little dutar line. Sounds like this. There's so much I could do with this, and it's gonna all live within that sweet spot of that Persian sound. So already, just because I'm hearing it in my head, and there's no rules except for the rules that I make, because it's my show. This needs a shaker so bad, and I'm not gonna be able to live with myself if I don't record a shaker. So go get yourself a shaker. They're like $20. One of the best $20 investments you could ever make as a musician. Go record a shaker. And eventually I'll get another microphone set up in here. Remember, I just moved in, so I have to turn, I hate this, I have to turn down my talking mic to record. It's not good, but so yes, my talking voice is quite low now. But I have to make sure I don't peak. Let's do it. Aha. Sorry about that. There we go. On with the show. Alrighty, I'm back. All right, so let's listen to what that sounds like in the box. I intentionally recorded 8 bars, or I guess 4 bars of 6/4, because that gives us enough data to copy and paste as we wish, and it gives us a little intro. Notice that I started on the and of the beat 6. Let's clean it up by just moving it until it really lines up with the beat. There's always latency no matter how you record. And then let's go over to the EQ mixing tab, and I'm going to just shave off a little bit of the high end so it's not so much in our face, and take off all the low end. Let's look at it, see what it looks like. Yeah, that looks, sounds, feels awesome. Quick trick here is I'm going to put my quantization as a perfect 1 bar. Actually, that's not smart. Let me do it as a quarter note because we're in 6/4 time. And I'm literally just going to cut on the grid. A perfect 8 bars, or I guess in this case 4 bars because we're 6/4 time. I'm just going to copy and paste it. Boom, just like that. And then we're going to use a little tool called the fade tool, and we're just going to select, turn off my quantization. Whoops. Turn off the grid I meant. Then I can just go over here and just do a tiny itty bitty crossfade by pushing the letter X. And then it sounds like I recorded both. Yeah, like if there's 2 things you have to have as a composer, you need a shaker and you need a microphone. They're so cheap. You don't need anything expensive starting off. And let's keep going. I'm going to keep this shaker. I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste all of them out. You can always delete it or add it later, whatever. But I'm going to fill out this 2 minutes. Saves a heck of a lot of time. Keeps it nice and neat and organized. And I can always delete one. I don't know how long I'm going to go. I might just keep it right at 2 minutes, to be honest, which is right here. Right there. That's an even number of bars. I hate odd bars unless I have to. And I'm going to type in my looper bar loop. And I'm going to intentionally do a tiny little fade out. Turn my grid back on. These are just kind of the basic tech things. Do the world's tiniest fade. That way you can even hear it, but there's no clipping. And then I'm going to take my looper bar. Make sure it's purple. That way. And let's go all the way back to the beginning. Just like that. Now I'd make a really good loop spot because I'm keeping the percussion to... I don't want the shaker to start until the 3rd bar. Gives it a little bit of breath. If I can put like a pad or something here. A really cool function in Cubase. Not sure if other software has this function, but right here, it's called a delay compensation. And at any point, I can move the entire track forward or backwards in time, the whole track with this 1 digit. So it sounds a little forward to me. So I'm going to type in 20, which means 20 milliseconds compensation. So now I'm just going to test it out. This way I don't have to like nudge stuff and it always stays perfectly on the grid. Let's test it out. That feels so good. Yeah, there it is. All right, I want to play with this dutar a little bit. Really cool instrument. I want to do some kind of pitch bend on that final note, and this desperately needs some quantization. I haven't done any. So a quick and dirty way to get some quantizing in here is just to select the notes. First of all, I'm going to select everything. So I did Control A, select all notes, but then I'm going to deselect all the notes I don't want to quantize. So I'm basically going to find all the fast notes and deselect them. I'm holding Control on my keyboard, and this little box comes up, and I can deselect any of the notes I don't want to quantize. So the main thing is I want to quantize all of the beginning notes, like the first note in each phrase, basically. But fast notes, I'm going to deselect. That way it keeps the musicality. Like that. And then we'll quantize, and now everything should feel musical. So those three. Da-da-ba-bum. That is quantizing. Here's another shortcut you should know in Cubase. Hold Control and Shift at the same time, and this little microphone speaker icon appears over note. Then you can click the note and then scroll up and down to change the velocity. There you go. Yeah, no kazoos in my life. So I want this last one. Pitch bend. Really the best way to do a pitch bend is just to do it on your controller. Drawing a pitch bend is really annoying. See, that's all I did. Right there, boom. I just took my hand on my keyboard and I'll show you right here. Yeah, you can't really see it. There's a pitch bend wheel right here, and I just go, where's my camera? Hello. I just go, right up and down. Really easy, really simple. And it creates this cool little burn at the end. Very musical. That's what you do in the instrument. It's actually a little bit late. Yeah, that's good. Just a little bit, just a little something, something. All right. Cool. I'm liking the structure of this track. Eunice said it feels barren at the beginning. This whole track feels barren. I haven't done anything yet. Calm down. But you know what I do need to do before I forget? I need to very quickly grab each of the... I don't know if there's a bulk way of doing this. In Pro Tools, you definitely can bulk do this. Right now, I'm just going to do like little crossfades. There's got to be a function in here somewhere. I'm sure it's like find all clips. It's probably in my regions menu of like crossfade all things in one stroke of a button. And I'm sure it exists, but I don't care because I'm not going to go search for it because I did it faster than finding the function. All right. All right. Yeah, I really want to hear... Right after this Dutar melody, I want to hear strings. Something short, choppy. I actually really like the strings I used last week for the Triangle Strategy track. And they were an unexpected find. They were inside Palette in Contact. That's a Red Room audio library. Maybe Matt can link that in the chat, but that's, I have a previous video on YouTube where I did a review of Red Room Audio's palette. If you're interested in picking that up, I have an exclusive discount partnership with them that they've only given me and my audience. So if that's interesting for you, highly recommend it. Let me pull that up over here. Super cool library because it's all recorded in the same hall, which is a very rare thing. It has, Symphonic Sketchpad is the official name, but it has strings, percussion, brass, woodwinds, all kinds of things, harps, piano, choir. They recorded all of these things. It's definitely an all-in-one library. Highly recommend it. They even did chamber strings, like just a few players. So cool. But I'm going to grab the first pass strings. I wouldn't use this for like soaring melodies unless it's all I had. There are other libraries more suited for that, such as Tokyo Scoring Strings, which is crazy expensive for what it is, but it does that one thing very, very well, and it plays legato solo strings. Solo meaning like violin 1 section, violin 2 section, violas, cellos, and basses. And there's no other library that can do that at that level. And there's some of the largest libraries ever, which is, neither here nor there. If you have the space, fine, but oh yeah, Eunice. Sorry, I keep picking on Eunice, but Eunice keeps saying interesting things. He said maybe you could use the Gypsy violin from Red Room Audio. I have that. I don't love it. I'll be honest. Cowbell. No cowbell. Please, no cowbell. And thanks, Arfo, who says it already sounds amazing. Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with just a few instruments, keeping it simple. I'm excited to grab a few more percussion instruments here today. See what we might come up with. Something you should know about Palette is it's a very large library. But Contact is so cool because once you load one of these suckers from Palette, the next library you load will load instantly because it's loading all of Palette, not just that one patch. So it is good on that front. Really, the secret weapon here is it's only 400 megabytes, and it's loading every articulation. So you can actually deselect all of these, and it gets way smaller for anyone that needs to save space. But right now, all I want is spiccato. I want short strings from them. And I want to mix the microphones because I feel like that's really the secret sauce, is they recorded 3 different distinct microphone setups. And so I love having close, but really for today's purposes, I want them to be very far away. Or some kind of blend. Oh, we're on the wrong articulation. That's why it sounds like crap. How do I change it? Mic setup is everything. You can change the sound of a library completely by playing with the mics. Play around with it till you're happy. I might keep playing with it, but what I'm hearing is something like this. Why am I writing in B flat minor? That's funny. I want to stay on my cool scale. So we're in B flat harmonic sharp 4 minor, whatever you want to call it. Let me figure this out. It's a very JRPG thing to do. To walk up by half steps. Let's just try something. That's a very Persian Turkish thing to do, is to go up by half step. I'm really falling in love with these strings. They're so simple, but really dynamic. Really good for this spiccato, the short string side anyway. Isn't that great? You can hear all the the round robins, you can hear like the string slaps. That's so great. That's cool. Cool. I feel like the strings need to start right there. I feel like that one needs to be a 3/4 bar. Just change it up a little bit, change the expectation. It just makes it a little bit more interesting when the strings come in. So let's do right here, 3/4. So let's get the grid back on. Tron Legacy has ruined me forever. The grid. And we'll go back to 6/4. Right there. Cool. And we'll keep that dutar a little bit quieter. It's pretty loud. Let's get some strings. And these are short strings. All right, here's the chord progression I want. Let's get those double basses in there. So I'm really trying to keep the context. It's Kirby, so it can't be overly dark. But by moving in planing meaning sideways, by moving in these major chords. So it's minor, major, suspended major, major, major because it's an inversion, or it's a F minor first inversion. So let's write it down because my brain can't remember all that much. So we're going to create a second marker track called chords. So I don't have to remember all of that information. Let's color it something different like red. Orange, I like orange. And let's get writing. So I'm going to type in B flat minor, which is where we started. And not sure how much pacing. It's like dun 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 dun. So yeah, we're gonna keep changing. This is gonna be just modulation territory. So that's gonna become B major. You could call it C flat, but who wants to call anything C flat these days? B major, and then F suspended for F major, and then deceptive cadence by going to. Well, you can't hear it, but G flat 7. And then, what do we say? F minor over A flat, also known as F minor first inversion. And then back to B flat minor. That's a very cool sounding progression. Very progressive progression. So let's do it. It's a very Kingdom Hearts kind of progression, now that I think about it. Very, oh boy. What's her name? Sakamura. Yoko Shimamura. Love Yoko. So my goal here in the inner lines of the chord is to change the middle note of the chord every half, whatever we're calling these, bars. So every 2 to 3 beats. So instead of just going, why don't we move the inner line? It keeps the musical interest. Oh, I have to be able to count though. I see what happened. My darbuka line got all jacked up in the great schism of 2022. The 3/4 struck hard. All right, so we have this guy. The great schism. I'm such a dork. All right, boom, 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 boom. Okay, let's do it. Hey, Raphael, you go have yourself a great piano lesson. Really trying to use these major chords to change the tonality more than anything. That's a better line. Classical ending, Baroque. This also might be a cool way to end on a 3/4. That could be its own track. The Desert Boss. I love that. It's so final. And then it transitions, like it cuts the bar in half. And that's when the woodwind. Let's make a woodwind, right? Let's do this. We're gonna make this. My brain's going faster than my hands, so let's do 3/4. That's not a good thing. All right, this is gonna be 3/4. So let's get this back in order. 6/4. And this is going to be woodwind, some kind of Persian flute or something, or the duduk or something. So because we screwed with the time signature again, I never fixed this. Whoops. We need to fix the shaker party, the Quakers and the Shakers. Move him there, and then it happens again, where we're going to have to interrupt this program. That looks right. Close to being right. There we go. Uh-oh. Okay. We're just going to have to do something like that. Anyway, the shaker keeps going. The darbuka just got obliterated again. That's okay. We'll just copy a bunch of those. This is why MIDI is just so nice, because if you change your mind, you have to just start chopping up audio, which is not terrible, but you can see the problems. All right, let's get... I just butchered my shaker, so let me copy some stuff. So 1. There we go. There's a clean shaker line. But musically, I like changing the time signature, and it feels natural because you could have, this whole track could technically be in 3/4. So I'm just, instead of doing a 8th repetition, I'm going to do 7. If that math makes any sense to you, that's what's happening. Let's jump to the strings. Let's quantize those suckers. I like it a lot. That library is kicking butt. But it's also super duper late with the latency. So, those are all 16ths. Let's clean it up and listen back. Oh, this is so bad. So here's a situation where the latency is so off that we're going to have to just pump the whole strings track to the left. Not bad, not bad. Do one more pass. Double check the notes, the timing. There's a few little wrong notes here and there. All right, speaking of warm, I just had a wardrobe change. It was hot. It's hot up here. It's hot over here. Okay, there we go. Cool. Speaking of hot, blistering sun. Yeah, Georgia heat is serious. It's always, not always, it's usually cool in the mornings around here, and then it gets super hot in the afternoon. Yeah. So that finality statement here. Oh, I see what's happening. My shaker is 1,000 years off beat. Let me double check all that. Oh, this is annoying, but somewhere in my shaker copying made a bad decision. So let me try this again. With a fresh mind. Okay, copy. Copy, copy, just like that. There, that makes a whole lot more sense. It wasn't lining up earlier, and that's why it got really, really off. And these 3/4 bits messed it up. So there we go. Now I think we're back on track. There we go. I like how the crossfades are actually automatically happening now when I copy. That's pretty cool. Didn't know Cubase would do that for me. Thanks, Cubase. You're a real pal. Hey, what's up for all the new folks that have been walking in today? I think James just said hi. Hi, I'm doing great. Fantastic. And for those who have not put it together yet, if you weren't here at the very beginning of the stream, Matt Everett, my new executive assistant, he's hanging out in the other room of the studio. He's managing the live chat today, so woohoo. Making my life all kinds of easier. So when the strings come in, I'm going to add another shaker. It's called a tambo. It's a little mini tambourine shaker, hand shaker. This thing kicks butt because you probably could just hear it right now. It's just another layer to add something really cool on top. Give more energy. It'll help boost the intensity of the strings. And it's just another Turkish kind of perk instrument. And then I'll use more of the library we're talking about today, but at the end of the day, my purpose here is to use the libraries in the exact way that I actually write music. I like to blend live with samples. That's my style. So this is the real deal here. Let me fix my mic again. I forgot to hit the record button. Back to my original level of volume here. This is why I really need to set up another microphone. Darn. All right, so that is the tambo. Really cool shaker, tambourine shaker. Highly recommend it. Has helped so many of my tracks. Let's do a quick little bit of EQ to line it all up. Make it sound better. Yeah, it creates a cool little triplet feel with the shaker. We gotta line it up to be right on the beats. Not exact, but something like that. It's going to help a lot. It's amazing what a little bit of perk will do. It adds so much life to it. And just for fun. I don't want to mess with the perk just yet, but that's something I can always pan to give more life to the room. Let's move to the good stuff over here. Let's get some kind of woodwind going. So let's copy this library. Again, this is the ancient era Persia library. Let's see what we have to choose from in the woodwinds. I'm sure it's going to be fun. Just play around. That was the duduk. Let me try the Persian ney. Can I get an amen? Ah, darn, shaker. Causing problems for everybody. Why is this so off? Hold up. So frustrating. I just don't know what happened in my shakers today to make it dislike me so. There it is. Cool. Oh, this needs like a home, something like that. And this kind of starts the conversation in a higher octave. I love that, doing a little pitch bend with it. That's with no effects of any kind. That's so cool. Ah, it's too high. Okay, that's a cool idea. Let's mute it. Let's copy it. Like duplicate. Pick a different instrument and just keep playing. It's there if I want it. I want to see what the Turkish ney sounds like. See if I like it better. Hey, Andrew Goodwin. Glad you're here. Also a bunch of key switches here. That's cool. It changes the attack. Like how long or short. Hey, Adrian. What does a Zorna sound like? Holy crap. There are also loops and phrases in here, which is really cool. If you want to pick on kind of combining the two things together, I think that's so cool. And they have MIDI phrases and audio. So cool. I haven't even touched the soundscapes, let alone. There's so much stuff in here. Let me also try the Turkish clarinet. And those clicks. Try a couple more. Caval. That'd be kind of cool to do a faster phrase. Like having like a phrase separator. I'm gonna call this the B section. So that's the tonality's still on B flat, but like an actual change. I like this kind of being an intermission, like an interlude. One single note. Set the tone. Tambo can go way down. Shakers are just kind of background, filling in space. Oops. I can answer that question, Michael. Yeah, Matt Everett. That's the Matt. He's hanging out right there. I can point to him. That. It's a little effect, right? Self-made effect. Let's grab some more perk, or some perk, I should say. A lot of things in here that are really going to help set the tone. It's called a tomback. Play around with that tomback. Let me get all my perk in order. I'll put them at the bottom. Darbuka on top, tambo on top, shaker on top. Tomback is like a low drum. Let's see if that can help emphasize some of the string material. Anytime I add an instrument melodically or harmonically, it's nice to add an extra layer of percussion as well to help fill in the space. That way it kind of opens up the scene change, so to speak. I like that. That's cool. Sort of those things I've learned over the years is don't do too much. at once. Like, if it's going to be loud and full, make it loud and full. But then when you want to back off, you know. All right, let's tame this down. Hey, what's up? Value Music. Valerie Spo. That's a mouthful. Hi. I'll just call you Val. Hey, what's up, Val? So here's the tom back by itself. It's not super powerful by itself. Right? But man, what a difference it makes when you start adding it all together. The strings are from Palette. Matt, if you haven't yet, will you link that? Find the YouTube video. I've done a review of Palette. There's a nice discount just for my audience. Go check it out. I think it's a staple library to have in Contact because it's it's an all-around, all-in, really good library for orchestral because it's all recorded in the same hall. So this still needs some kind of melody. So let's see what's hiding in here. Maybe a duduk would be a good one, actually. Mid-tenor kind of voice. Duduk. I recently wrote quite a bit of duduk for Dark Dice. So I'm a little duduked out. So it's not really my go-to right now because I've really done a lot with it. But this is a good sounding one for sure. I just don't like it. Almost sounded good. I missed my last note. Okay, there's some potential there. Let me go to the quick edit and play with some reverb on here. It felt a little weak. I like that sound. That actually was the right sound. I went with my gut. First, before I can really do anything, I want to keep the little articulation notes that you kind of see, these little tiny baby ones. I don't want to quantize those, but I'm going to select all, deselect any of the really quick notes like I did earlier to keep the musicality. That way, the important rhythmic staples of the phrase are quantized where everything else is not. Gives a bit more musicality. All right, I'm gonna knock the reverb down really low. Go to my mixer. I'm gonna type in Aether. Which is my reverb of choice. I like to put it in the hall, something around 20%. Let's see if that helps give some life. Go. Cool. Alright, so this is off. Still don't know why, but it is. Maybe I need to go back to my quarter note. Here. So strange. I like where this is going, though. Okay. Where shall we go from here? Those strings are pretty cool. I want to grab one of these pluck strings. Similar to the dutar or something. Just to keep this track moving along. This would be a good spot to add something. Maybe like here, this B section. Let's write something new featuring something in that vein. Let's go to strings. Let's see what they have. They have a lira, and a Turkish violin. That's kind of cool. No thanks. Don't like that sound. To me, it sounds very fake. So I can already get a feeling that their bowed strings are not going to be good, but the plug strings are really good. So we play with some of these. Try dutar. Oh, that's what I just had. Kopaz or kopuz. That's definitely a big instrument in this. The rabob. Just be careful that these things are laden with reverb, so just turn it down. And the release is way too high. Happy with that. That's called rabob, which is a plucked string. Let me find another one here so we have some options. But in general, I like the direction we're going. The santur, let's hear that. That sounds like some Zelda. Okay, it's called santur. It's used a lot in Mario games. And last, I think, from that same folder of plucked strings. Okay, there's a couple more. The tambour. Sounds about the same to me. Here's the tar, T-A-R. It's like a banjo to me. And then the Turkish oud. It's a very famous instrument. I like that one a lot. It's like a guitar, like a mandolin. A lute is probably the closest. Like how low it is. looks like we can change the key switch. Cool sound. That's the oud that I want to use immediately. Okay, that's super cool. These blasted shakers are just not cooperating. Don't know why. But at least they're there. All right. I love that kind of thing. Cool. That'd be really cool doubled, don't you think? That's a lot of fun. Take it, boom. Ba-dum-pum. There's a lot I can do with that. First of all, it's a bit of copy paste action. What did I do? There we go. something in that neighborhood. Just kind of move along that scale and trying to do something a little bit dramatic. See if that works. There's some ideas. Don't have to use all of them, but some cool ideas that they can work with. And that keeps us around the 2-minute mark. Right there. So let's clean that up. What do you guys think? Making something cool here. I don't usually write this style of music, so this is fun. start there. We'll kind of build backwards. Sometimes when I don't know what goes in the middle, I'll try to finish out the ends and work inwards. So here's a good example of that. Let's get the end right. Just filling out the percussion. To match the darbuka rhythm. Getting my zoom all messed up. Yeah, it's turning into a cool track for sure. Coming together. It's just, taking its sweet time. I really want to land the ending to the loop point, which is the beginning, obviously. I want this to be very interesting. Cool bass line and the oud. That's a cool idea. We need the strings to make all that make sense, but following the bass line with the plucked string. That's working out great. That gave a lot more clarity about where to go from here. As cool as that little boss battle thing is, it's not going to work for this track. Like everything up to this point, Micah has a great... thank you, Micah, for saying that. Micah is referring to circular breathing. Duduk is known for that. You can keep playing a note continuously. You don't have to have that breathing sound. Like a flute, you'd have to break in between the notes. Yeah, he's right. I like this a lot, but man, it just doesn't fit. We got to keep the vibe of bum, 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 dum, instead of dun, 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 dun. It kind of wears on us. So bye-bye idea. Oh, you were a fun idea, but you were not a good idea. Sorry, those ideas have to die. Doing that. That's fun. Adding the high octave of the Persian nay. Let's get some inspiration here. This is why they have phrases too. I need some kind of inspiration from here. Let's do, I don't know, phrases. Let's just get some ideas. That's so cool. that. Let's get that Boklama. That's a good sound for this section. Something like that. It's a good placement of all of this stuff. This stuff needs to continue, though. The perk on the bottom just needs to keep going. Let's make this a whole section. It works quite well. Let's connect these, and this is going to be the baglama, the llama melody, the bag llama. Llama in a bag. Just what we all need in our lives. Hey, what's up, Robin? Glad you're here. What is my melody? That's good. so tricky. It's one of those melodies that just sounds like it's always been. It's one of those, because I'm, moving around like that. La, 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 la. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Oh no, I should not quantize that because it has all of my fun information in it. So let me reset quantize. Let me undo any of these little fun. What are they called? Ornaments. Okay, how's that? Hopefully it works. I like that. The modulation upwards. Cool. So that, I want to give the strings a little bit of reverb with 2C Aether. Just let them breathe a little bit. I don't even like this part. I don't like anything anymore. Not bad. I mean, so far, in 2 hours, I've written a solid minute, maybe minute and a half worth of music, and now I'm just trying to fill out this second minute. It's just a heck of a lot of music to write. Short amount of time. But I'm game for it, if you guys are. Let's see what else we can do here. So this obviously needs something at the beginning. Maybe just a pad. Wow, it's amazing what that strings do. Wow. I'll stop the strings as soon as we get to here. Yeah, I can't go forever, but sure do. I'm enjoying this quite a bit. Don't want to stop. Isn't it amazing what just a string pad will do? And here with a little bit of sound effects, it makes all the difference. Let's double that with strings. That's good. I mean, this absolutely should be doubled. So I think this entire thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, should all be shifted. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. At least to there. So here, all this just needs to go next door. All right, so let's do some copying. That's a nice B melody. So I'm just going to duplicate the perk. Keep it going. Ha! I just solved it. Check this out. Boom. Death to the music. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. I'm just gonna let this be a shorter track. There's already plenty of content here. This, I'm gonna say, is the outro. And it's just gonna loop there. Cool. Let's take this B2 melody, which is this guy. Ah, there's a note stuck in here. Do it this way. There we go. Problem fixed. Basically want to double this way, but probably put it in a different instrument. more for a couple minutes. Spent the soundscapes. Cool. A lot of these are desert themed. Most of them. That one. Cool loop point. All right, I didn't think I was going to bring this sucker out, but give me a second. I need to bring out one more little toy to play with. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. That was the world's shortest coffee break. I had to grab something. Shabam! It's a lap harp. Why do we need a lap harp, you ask? Well, this is why. create some really cool sounds. We need some kind of, transition material. This is good transition material. Let me try again. That harp actually works really well. Let's dress it up just slightly, so it's not pure garbage in the background. This needs to be refined. Here it is. really happy with the loop point, and we're almost done. This middle section needs some kind of doubling of that melody. It's not going to be strings. And if it is strings, then it's going to be like, let me just try it just to scratch it off the list. But I'm thinking violins legato, like its own separate patch. This is going to be Tokyo scoring, just one patch. This is what I was talking about earlier, is sometimes you just need a specifically a legato strings patch. And thanks so much, JYS Music. Yeah, it's been a really fun little challenge today. See, listen to the quality difference. Totally different. Throw some good reverb on there. right. Let's be done with this. Yeah. I didn't want the violin to be a feature. I just wanted to kind of sit on top. All right, friends, let's be done. That was a lot of fun. That was cool, getting to combine Kirby with ancient era Persia. So just a quick reminder as we wrap up the party today, if this is a library you'd like to add to your life, go add it to the cart. Use the link in the description below. It's an affiliate link that does support my channel at no additional cost to you. Hope that is super valuable for you. Clearly I'm like out of breath. That was a 2.5 hour sprint getting this sucker done. But that's pretty awesome. We were to finish, my gosh. Let's see. It starts at 4 seconds, ends at 1:38. So that's about a minute and a half track. Minute and 34, actually. So pretty proud of that. And if you were to just focus on the ancient Persia, I know I use a lot of live stuff, but ancient Persia really was super helpful with the percussion, the darbuka and the tombak, especially like this. Of course, the oud. And then the melodies of all of the woodwinds and the strings like this. So you can totally have a track with just those items, but I like to really produce things out, and that's why adding the strings and my own little percussion stuff. It's going to be a more produced, polished result. So there you go, folks. I'm going to play out the final track. This is a lot of fun, and you'll probably hear this again sometime in a game music pack coming up, because that's how I use all these tracks. They don't go to an actual commercial project. But yeah, hope this was a lot of fun for you as well. I'd love to hear back from you guys in the comments below after the stream has been re-uploaded. If you have any questions I didn't get to, I know there's just a ton of conversation I didn't get to. Post your questions in there, or any thoughts you had, or anything you learned. That'd be super helpful. So thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day. If you've not downloaded the free guide right there, go grab that, stevemelin.com/10steps. If you're someone, if you want to learn how to become a business, how to actually grow a video game music career and earn proper money doing so, $63,000 plus per year. That's the industry average of what a game composer earns right now. So that's interesting to you. Go grab it. Go check it out. Come join the conversation. All right, guys. I'm at energy. But you guys are awesome. Have a lovely day. Let's play out the final track. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.